Aussie Bonsai Bloke here going. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to take you for a tour in a few minutes, which I'll probably do because you'll probably want to see a bonsai first up, not me walking around, or whether I am going to be doing the walking around first. But anyway, today I'm going to do a bit of a look around because we've had some rain, just show you around the puddles and tank and stuff like that. But also we're going to do an air layer on this almond tree. I promised I would do an air layer on it, and I'm going to. I could, because I'm going to cut that side of the tree off, I could just cut it off now and be done with it, but I'm going to do an air layer and see what I can make out of the rest of the tree in time. We'll see what happens. So we'll get to it, but first things first, I'm going to cut off a lot of the flower buds. I'll just show you what you need for a... No, I won't. I'll cut off the flower buds first, and then I'll show you what we need for an air layer. The things that you need, you know, to do an air layer. So first I'm just going to go through and just chop off all these flower buds because there's lots of them. I'll see if they pull off. Nah, I'll cut them off. So I'll just go through and chop them all off. I might leave a few on areas where, you know, like this is going to be the top of the tree here, and I want it to develop out here, so I may leave a few almonds up the top here just to weaken this top of the tree so that it pushes more growth out the bottom, I hope. We'll see what happens. But also it's going to be pushing growth out on this side of the tree still, at least until the air layer is cut off, so it'll push growth out here, but it won't actually get any energy back to the roots because that'll go into forming the roots on the air layer. So it's actually going to be expiring energy out this side of the tree, so I won't leave many almonds on at all. I'll just leave a few just to see what happens. So I'll cut the flower buds off. In the sky a bit, Kat. It'd be pretty cool if you get lucky on camera, won't it, Tay?
So we've got to get some. We got some. We're getting some from
G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke here going. Today, it's freezing cold. Got me bogan beanie on from my windsurfing team that I'm part of. Do a bit of windsurfing in my spare time when I get some. It's a bit windy out here, so hopefully that doesn't annoy you too much. Anyway, we've had a bit of a cold snap. It's been 12 degrees each day, and we've had I think 35 millimeters of rain so far, so that's been really good because it was getting a bit dry out here, and I was almost having to start thinking about watering some of those trees out there in the background because some of them were starting to wilt over. But this 35 mil is going to help them along nicely. But yeah, it's very cold, extremely cold. I'll give you a bit of a look at the puddles out the front, and then we'll get to doing some sort of a video. Haven't decided what I'm doing, but I'm sure we'll have a look soon, and it'll be in the title anyway. So I'm just going to have a look at the bonsais and see what I decide. Okay, let's have a look around. Okay, so there's a dog. Old Leo, he's coming out for a walk too. We got the puddles out the front. Believe it or not, we had some ducks swimming around in here. That puddle near the gate there is big enough for the ducks to swim around in. Yeah, that puddle's quite deep. Yeah, they were swimming in that bit just in front of the dog Leo there. Anyway, I'm not meant to go through this gate with the dog because the next door neighbour's got sheep, but bad luck. Jeez, this gate. I hate this gate. Here we go. The chain's almost a bit short, but anyway, this is actually part of a walking trail anyway, so it's not actually his land. To that fence is his land. His land's on that side of it, and this side of it, down this track, is part of a trail called the Lavender Trail. You can see even the water line in there. We had a shower go through not long ago, but anyway, there's water there. We'll come down this creek, see if we can see the dog, what he's up to. I think the water's nearly stopped flowing, but this little creek here does get some water in it. Let's take the dog for a walk. There's no actual sheep in this paddock at the moment anyway, so we'll be right. If there was, I wouldn't take him in here. So as you can see out the front, you know, I've shown you when this place is a desert, but you know, in winter, with all the green grass, I'm really happy with the purchase buying this place because it's just, you know, an absolute picture, you know, just beautiful. Summer's harsh, winter's nice and pretty. But summer, you know, all the red dirt and stuff looks quite pretty in summer also. So as you can see, we've got a lot of rocks, bit of green. I'll see if I can find a baby mini waterfall. We'll see if we can find that. Okay, so I got to this bit here. It's about the biggest the biggest little waterfall I can find. Just as a reference, I'll put my hand in there. But still makes a picture, doesn't it? Anyway, that's that. Whoa, stuck in the mud here. Jesus, I nearly fell over in the mud. Look at that. Walking around, a few puddles. I'll show you some bigger puddles. Okay, so there's my reflection in the water. Dog on the other side. And this water's, you know, it's barely flowing. There's not much to it, but pretty cool to have this out the front of your house in the middle of a desert. All those nice colours, the green, the trees, the clouds, the moss rocks, all the lichen on the moss, all that sort of stuff. There's the house back that way. Pretty cool. And because it's in the middle of a desert and in the middle of nowhere, it didn't really cost a lot of money, which is also a bonus. The dog's cruising off ahead there, so I'll go and catch up with him. Cheers. What you smell there, Papa? What you got? Leo, what you got? You picking up on a trail, bud? Oh yeah? You got a beautiful shiny coat with that sun shining off you. Leo, what you got? What is that? Hey? Leo? What is that, Papa? Oh yum. Oh yum. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Looks like an old dead sheep. The old jaws washed up. Okay, I'll just show you my tank now. I want to show you how full the tank's starting to get, the big one. Still very low, but it's getting there. Cheers. Okay, dog's going crazy. I just thought I'd show you his zoomies. Leo, come. Hey, go in. Let's go. Come on, Leo. Down here. Okay, so we're just going over to the tank. Kids have come out. Hopefully you can hear because it's really windy straight in the mic. I do have that fluffy thing on, so see how it goes. What do you reckon, kids? Check out the depth of the tank? Yeah? What do you reckon, Tay? Leo, you up for it, mate?
No, Leo's not checking it out. He'll fall in the tank.
Alright, now I've got to try and climb up here. Holy crap, hang on, and open up the lid. And then I don't want to drop my phone in this tank. Okay, so where that tank water is. Oh, excuse me. Well, seriously, if I drop my phone, I have to go for a swim. Where that water is there is about a third, getting closer to halfway up the tank. Probably a third. And if you can look over in there, you can see the fitting. That's what goes to the gravity fed back to the other pump. So it's got a good meter there, or close to, maybe 70 centimetres. The tank's I think 2.4, so it's got about 70 centimetres. So I reckon there's good 30 to 40,000 litres in here at the moment. You can see his name, the dude that put it in. Put his name up there so we can see. But pretty cool, pretty big tank, 110,000 litre. Like I say, I reckon there's probably 30 to about 35,000 in here at the moment. No worries, cheers. Okay guys, I promise we're going to get to the bonsai very soon. I just wanted to show you, I don't think I showed you this before. I've put the plugs in the lawn. Took 15 to 17 hours, something like that. Dog's in the video again, loves it. Anyway, so we put the plugs in. So now we just got to wait for this rain to pass and the weather to warm up, and should be all good. So yeah, it took about 17 hours. Put them pretty close all the way along here. So that's kikuyu grass, so we'll see how we go because it's a bit of a desert here in summer. Cheers. Okay, so you can see the tree looks a bit different now. Got all the old buds here, I'll show you. Just a massive amount of buds. Absolutely amazing how many this little tree put out. There's probably, you know, 150 to 200 possible almonds that would have come out of that. It might have only carried through 20 or 30. I did leave, just go up here, I did leave a couple on, just to see if we get some almonds out of those. But you'll see now to push out a lot more green growth. You can see the leaf on there now. But I got rid of the flowers. You can see it's got a bit of leaf on it. Nice green new leaf for the year. Almond trees I find are a single flush tree. Occasionally, if they're really healthy, it will flush again once you cut it, but in general I find them to be single flush. Okay, so let's get to that air layer. So it's actually going to be reasonably easy to get the camera in there because the back of the tree is quite bare, which actually used to be the front of the tree. So this portion in here is what we're going to air layer, right here, where it gets really fat, and that will leave this branch here. I'll just spin it around for you, other way. that will leave this branch here on the tree, which will sort of act like a lower side branch, and then all of that will be out of it. So anyway, I'll spin back around. So basically I let too many branches grow from that one spot, plus I caused it, sorry about the camera, a bit dodgy. Anyway, I caused a bit of trouble, a bit of trauma to that patch, because I had a branch bender on here and it actually really bruised the outside of this branch and actually created a lot of this swelling. So that's what a lot of it is from the actual branch bender, but that's alright. We're going to air layer it. It'll act like a base for whatever's here. I possibly might cut this one here off. It's not really in the way, but if you have a look under here, at the base of this one, it's quite thin and then it gets fat. So I'm going to cut that one off. I might do that now. Okay, so this one's probably going to be in the way for the air layer, plus it's not that great a branch, so that one's going to be gone. Almond wood can be extremely hard once you get an old almond tree. Extremely good in fires if you find an old almond. Okay, so there's that one gone. Also, there's one at the back here. I'm going to get rid of that because that's in the way of where I'm going to do the air layer. So that one will be gone. Now I'm going to do a ring around here. I think I'll keep this. It might even end up like a clump style with 3 different trunks coming off. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I'll pan back and just show you the tools needed for an air layer before I start. Okay, so you don't even need your snips. You need some tape, any sort of tape, sticky tape, gaffer tape, whatever. Alfoil when you finish to wrap around it. Not mandatory. I've done an air layer without alfoil on, mainly because the alfoil blew off and I didn't worry about it, but it still put out roots. The only thing is I did get a little bit of moss and algae, well not moss, but algae growing in the air layer, but it didn't seem to kill the roots, so that's okay. A nice sharp knife. This is my homemade knife that I made out of an old file. Pretty sharp, so I made that. But anyway, you need a knife, alfoil tape, either some sphagnum moss, or in my case I've got some sawdust, which is fine. You know, keeps it moist, gives it plenty of air. So you need that. A bit of water to put in your sawdust. So we'll tip that in there. Make it nice and wet. Like making a cake. And a bit of plastic. This is out of an old plastic bag. To wrap around the trunk. I probably won't need all this plastic, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so I actually then just want to cut another big branch off the back here, because I realised that's not going to be needed, because this is the last branch I'm keeping, which will stay on the tree, and then this will be where the new tree develops. And I basically just want to go for the fattest area before it starts tapering back down. I go for the fattest area here somewhere, create some roots, maybe make something out of this top. If it doesn't make something, that's fine, you know. I'll show you the air layer anyway. So basically what I'm going to be doing, I'll just pull you back a little bit because my elbow, I need a bit of elbow room. So I'm just going to cut around the outside of the tree or branch that we're going to air layer. And cut it quite hard. Fairly straight line, doesn't really matter. Actually, this bottom line's not so critical, because this bottom line's not where it's going to form roots. the top one out here will be. Because what happens is you're just creating a gap in the cambium so that it can't get back down to the roots of the tree, and then it calluses up and forms its own roots in the bag that you put with your sphagnum moss, potting mix, whatever you do. I've used potting mix as well, that worked okay as well. Okay, so now you want to create a nice little gap and still where it's fat for the roots. So I'll say I'll go there. I'll just cut in quite deep. Obviously don't get a saw out and cut halfway through the tree, but you do want to cut in deep, because the only fail that I've ever had doing an air layer was I didn't go deep enough and the tree rejoined its cambium layer and put the energy back down to the tree roots, not forming its own roots. Okay, so we've gone into there. Now the next thing you want to do is try and pry it up. See that nice bit of... I'll just try and show you a bit of close up of that actually. So I'll hold the camera. So now where I've cut in, you got the cambium there, and then you peel this off the outside, and you're left with the xylon, or xylon layer, I think they call it, underneath, which is where the water goes out to the tips of the branching. Water goes out through the middle xylon layer and gives it all its moisture that it needs, minerals, vitamins, whatever it needs, from the roots of the tree. And then what happens, all that energy that it accumulates from the leaves and sunlight comes along the outsides of the branches and gets to here where you've cut a gap, can't go anywhere, so this here will callus up and swell and then hopefully push out roots, as long as everything works fine. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So I'll take that strip off around the whole thing. Okay, simple as that. I've cut around it and cleared it. Okay, and then what I'll be doing now, focus camera, focus. Okay, so what I'll do now, once I've done that, just clean up, especially this top line. This top line here is the one that you want nice and clean, because that's where the roots are going to form. And if you want an angle of the roots, or you want to plant it in a pot on an angle with these three branches, you want to do that now, because these roots are going to form along the actual line that you cut. But I'm happy with it being reasonably upright. I might just go down a bit at the back here, which means I'll cut a bit more off there. And then I'll just clean up the line around the front. You have a nice clean sharp line like that. It's nice razor sharp. Nice sharp clean line. You get a better forming of all the roots. And this back line doesn't really matter so much, but remember too, you want to keep the gap big enough that there's no chance of it, the callus expanding back to here and rejoining and then going back down the tree. So there's no point in having a little tiny gap. You better make it big and noticeable. Make sure you've got everything off, and then when you've done that, the next job is just to clean off. Some people scrape like this. You can also, carve it a bit. Really carve it in quite deep. on the cambium just so they can't hill back over, because your biggest harm is that it hills back over. It can amazingly find its way back across here by next time you look at it, and all that work's for nothing. And you want to be nice and clean and careful around the whole thing, because if you dig one bit out nicely and make it impossible for it to rejoin, but then the other side of the branch you do a bit of a sloppy job on, which we've all been there and done that, what will happen is one side of your air layer will form roots and the other side will join back up to the tree. So you'll have one area where it just joins back up and the other area will have roots on half, which means that you can probably still separate it, but forever and a day you're going to have crappy roots that you're always trying to fix up because you didn't do your air layer right. So you can see I've taken off a fair bit, you know, trimmed it back quite hard. I'll just clean this line up again. Don't want to emphasize that too much, but it's pretty important. Nice sharp clean line, and give it a bit of a scrape. Just really want to make sure it doesn't join back up anywhere. Okay, but you can see there's a big difference in the thickness of the branch now when I've done that to the thickness of what it was. So you can see that completely ring barked. You basically just ring barking it. But then the magic happens when you put the bag and the sawdust or sphagnum moss, whatever you want to use on. That's where the magic happens. Alright, next job. We got this tree here. This is the hardest, fiddliest job actually. Is to try and get this plastic to sit around there. You can buy, I think you can buy special commercial or even do DIY air layer bag things that you put on. I just muck around with this dumb plastic. You do get there in the end. It's just, you know, a little bit hard to get it to wrap properly. Okay, so we'll wrap that. Actually, we've got some different tape. Okay, so because I'm working on a fairly small air layer, it's quite hard to get in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, okay, just so hard to get the camera angle right too, so you guys can see. I don't want you guys to miss out, otherwise everything I've done here is for nothing. Sorry about all this shaking around, trying to get the camera right. So I hope you guys can see this. I'm on the back of the branch here with my bag. I just want to bunch it up a bit around the branch. Okay, so the bag can then fold out after. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tape. This is a hard bit, trying to hold everything. You almost need 10 hands. Then you just want to bring your tape around that back and really do a few laps, really cinch it up tight, because one, you don't want air getting in there, and two, you don't want it to slip off in time. Okay, so we're doing that. Now, if I have a look in the front of the bag, so hard to get the angle right. What's going to happen now, this bag's going to try and fill it up, wrap around here, and then come back underneath down here, fill up that whole area in here with moss or sawdust, whatever you got, and then sort of tape it up, put a bit of tape around the whole thing. One thing I have messed up on here is I've got this joint at the bottom. It's not the end of the world, but it's just going to make it harder for me. Wasn't really thinking too well. So I can probably put a bit of tape across this bottom joint, just to try and hold it for now. And it won't matter later, because when you wrap it all up, it's not going to matter. So anyway, so that's the tape across the bottom, so hopefully now I can fill it up. So what we've got to do now, try and show you this, it's so hard. I may even put this whole tree on an angle, just while I fill it up. Okay, so the tree's on an angle with a bit of roll of tape there. Okay. Alright, so I've been doing a bit of mucking around here, adjusting and carrying on. Okay, and I've got this sawdust here, which I've put the water in, got it quite moist, wet almost, but certainly moist. Mix it up a bit, making a mess in my newly cleaned shed. I cleaned it up after that last repot video of the olive where I smashed the pot. But she's all good. Right, so that's wet. So I've got sawdust. This is fairly fine sawdust. It can be a bit coarse, it doesn't matter, you know. Whatever you got lying around, just shove in here. Sawdust is actually quite good because it, geez, I'm making a mess here. Because, you know, sawdust allows a lot of air in there, a little bit like sphagnum moss. Allows a lot of air and also holds a lot of moisture, so it won't dry out. And this should create some really good roots. So I've kept it quite wide in there so I can get as much of this sawdust in there as possible. And the benefit to that will be is the roots have more room to grow in. So really try and pack it in there. Packing away. You want to make sure you've definitely covered up all areas where you've cut, where you want the roots to form. Otherwise you've just wasted all your time, because that part will just dry out and won't form roots. Okay, now what we're going to do is just cut the, oh, I think I can keep packing at that for a while. I'll just pack a bit more in. Gonna look a bit silly, this thing hanging off there, but that's an air layer for you. Another way people do it is they put a pot on the tree. Oh, bastard. Having a bit of trouble here with my turntable wobbling around. Well, that's another thing. Adrian from the Queensland Bonsai Club is sending me some new turntables, so that's going to be pretty cool. Pretty excited to see those, so I'll show you those in a future video. Adrian's going to send them down to me. Should be here next week, so that's pretty cool. Really excited about seeing them. Some stainless steel turntables. When I get them, I'll show you them and let you know how you can get in touch if you want one. But it should be pretty cool. It should be a little bit more stable than this old wobbly thing. Right, so we've got it pretty well packed in now. We've got a lot of sawdust in there. And then basically you just want to wrap it up as tight as you can get it. Back around the base of that branch. Okay, so that's all going to overlap. Now it's not an easy task as far as trying to get the bag back around and all that. It's quite hard. Easier on a bigger tree if you're more keen and want to airlayer a full-size tree. That's probably going to be easier than a little tree like this. Okay, so I'm going to do it tight around there. Just for a second. Break that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through and I'm just going to trim this bag off so that we can get a closer bond to the tree without the bag getting in the way. You can see how blunt these scissors are compared to my knife. An old knife just cuts it away. But I do got to be careful for the tree. Well, sorry about that. I don't know how much you missed. I'm putting this tape on really firm. I really try and hold it together. I'm covering up any spots where it can get air. I don't want it to dry out. But basically, you know, your moisture is going to come up from the roots still, get to the tips. They're still going to grow. The sunlight's going to hit them. Instead of that energy going back down to the roots, it's going to stop here where you cut it, create a callus, create roots growing to this bag here. And I mean, one thing that people say is, oh, you have to put a syringe in there and add moisture and blah blah blah. Even put fertilizer in there. You know what? I just do this, put alfoil around it, maybe check it once or twice throughout the summer, and then literally in the autumn just cut it off, plant it in a pot. I don't do any syringe in there, I don't do any extra fertiliser in there, because you're still going to get the fertiliser you put in this pot, it's still going to push out to the end. And that's it. So that's pretty much finished now. You can see it's all done up nice and tight there. Looks like you've got a beehive or something sitting on the branch there. Right, now all you're going to do is get your alfoil out. We'll just go back a bit. Going to get your wife's alfoil out. Let's hope there's enough. I don't think there is. Oh, maybe. Well, she's run out, hasn't she? Okay. Yeah, I think there will be just enough. And like I say, I cover it with alfoil generally because I want to keep the sun off it, because otherwise you can get sort of algae and stuff growing here. And then when you want to check how it's going, you just simply take it off and check it, see if it's got any roots, put the alfoil back on. If it's got lots of roots, you could probably think about cutting it off. But yeah, that's why I use the alfoil. It's not going to be quite enough actually. I'll do the joint underneath. Later on when we get some more alfoil, I'll go a bit further around, but I'll do it on top anyway, the alfoil. And then put some more alfoil on it later. But I have had alfoil blow off in the wind and I never bothered to replace it, and the air layer still worked out fine. It just had a little bit of algae in it, which didn't seem to affect the roots, so who knows. Anyway, so that's that. You could probably now, I'll just put a bit of tape across it. Normally you just do a few layers of alfoil and then you can, don't need to tape it, but I'll tape the bottom because we ran out of alfoil or a bit short. So that's that. So we went from a tree branch to a beehive, now something that looks like it's from outer space. So that's that, so that's all that stuff. Used up all my pot of sawdust. Now we just got to sit back, let it grow. It should create its own moisture, like I said. I did pre-wet it, pre-moist everything, like you said, like I showed, and now just let it grow. So that's about it. No worries. We've got it done. Air layer's done. Let's see how it goes in 6 months or so. That's probably when I'll think that it's probably nearly done. Maybe 6 months. Anyway, cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke here. Here you go. Today, got the unveiling of a present from one of my subscribers, Adrian Eggleton. Pretty awesome. The bloke sent me some turntables, so cheers for that, Adrian. Really appreciate it, mate. He makes turntables, but anyway, he sent me some as a gift, and I'm going to try them out and see how she goes. Really excited. The cat's coming to the unveiling of the present. My daughter's standing behind, she's watching as well, and we're going to open it up. What do you reckon, Tay? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to come around here as well, Tay? Yeah. This is going to be pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited. Been waiting just a few days. Come all the way from Queensland. He's part of the Queensland Bonsai Club there. He did tell me, I don't know whether it was tweed or something. I bloody can't remember. I feel bad. Anyway, I'm going to put some notes up anyway about Adrian and what club he's involved in, all that sort of stuff. I'm just so excited. My brain's gone to mush because he seen me break my old wooden turntable, if you remember. What do you reckon, Tay? Want to help open it up? Come on, mate. Oh yeah, by the way, I got myself a port for the special occasion. Have a nice port. Just watch your fingers turn just about to start. Don't want to hurt ourselves here. Oh! Don't want to wreck that. Oh, jeez, he's wrapped it well. I'll tell you what, you go and order these. Get one of these, take you half an hour to get into the bloody thing. Sure didn't want to get it scratched. What do you reckon, Tay? Pretty hard to get into, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, pretty excited. Whew. I must say too, they're pretty heavy. The postage, 7 kilo. 7 kilo for the postage. Really made this hard, mate. Adrian, you really made this bloody hard, mate. Pretty cool. Pretty excited. Well, here's the first one, Tay. Let's see what it says. Okay, so looks like his name's Spinning Tree Bonsai Turntables by Adrian. I'll put that up close if you want to get one. Leave that there for a few seconds so you can jot the numbers down. Try not to get any glare on it. So it's Adrian's turntables. If you want to contact him, get in contact. Please give me some cards to give out as well. That's pretty cool. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, so this must be the smaller one. Okay, he said he's greased it. It's all ready to go. He greases them, gets them ready to go. Then he's got Pill Me written on here, so we'll do that. You want to help peel it, Tay? That's quite hard to peel. Looks quite nice. Quite a nice finish on the stainless steel. These are stainless steel, by the way. Stainless steel turntable, that's pretty cool. This must be you can hang this one up in the back here. That's pretty cool. Now we got another one. It was really good. He sent me two. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. Peel me top, peel me bottom, it says. Alright, let's peel it again, Tay. I'll just check. You peel it, I'll just have a look. I don't want to run over time on this video. I'm just going to stop it. Just hold it there for a sec, Tay. Smart. Okay, let's peel again. I did push record, yep.
Great.
Alright, let's go again. They feel, they feel really solid, these things. Well done, Tay. Yeah, they feel really solid. They're made out of, I'm going to say 4mm, probably 4mm plate stainless steel. He tells me that he uses 130 kilo bearing in the middle, which is huge. I'm pretty sure, we'll just turn them up, have a look. Pretty sure for the little one and the big one he uses the same size. Yeah, looks like he does. He uses the same size. How the heck he welds that on in there, I don't know. Bit of a work of art, he's pretty good at it. Okay, remember which one's the top?
I think it's this. That one.
Okay. They feel quite solid. You can see it spins really well. I'll tell you what, Tay. I'm going to do something a bit silly here. I'm going to sit on this thing. Let's test it out for you. Oh no. Let's test it out. I'm going to sit on the thing, see how strong she is. Just do a bit of a test for you. Right. And then I'm going to see if I can spin around. Woo! There we go. That's 100 kilo. She still spins like brand new. That'll take any tree that you want to throw at it. Just beautiful. So that's the bottom, that's the top.
Yeah.
Beautiful. No worries. Cheers, Adrian. Thanks for that, mate. I've got 2 turntables, and he did say if you have a bigger tree that's on the outside of this, you can get a bit of plyboard and have it really hanging over the side because it can take a lot of weight. Good bearing, 140 kilo bearing. So pretty cool. Cheers again, mate. Really excited for that. And I'll give everyone some more details. Not sure whether I'll put pricing on here. I think I'll leave that up to him, but leave it up to Adrian. But really excited. So that was the unboxing of the spinning tree turntables by Adrian. And I've showed you his phone number and stuff. So that's really cool. You reckon, Tay? Good? Yeah. Pretty cool. Really wrapped with that. Cheers. Thanks very much. You know, warms the old heart to get something like that from someone. And really excited. No worries. Cheers, and you'll see more of these turntables in the future. Cheers. Oh, hang on. Life's not complete. Life's not complete with the old little bit of port in to celebrate. Cheers. Cheers. Sorry, one last thing. If you do go ahead and order one of these from Adrian, pretty cool, pretty strong, lasts a lifetime, you know. It's a one-off purchase rather than getting those IKEA ones that break. Once-off purchase. So spend the money, get a good one. If you live fair way away, you know, it's 7 kilos, so postage will be a little bit, but remember, it lasts forever. And also, just, you know, give a shout out for Aussie Bonsai Bloke when you order it. Let him know that the word's got around a bit and my video is getting out there. No worries. Cheers for watching. I'll catch you again. Aussie Bonsai Bloke.